This is what we understand Jesus' message to be. Then we launch into some of the distinctives. In particular, after years of doing pilot projects, we have launched, you've heard of it over the last couple of years, the Bridge Ministry. And this is taking what in the past had been very scattered, random efforts to serve the community, and we're trying to get much more focused, much more intentional, give it some legs and some organization so that it will be more effective. And the Bridge Ministry is meant to connect Lake Valley with opportunities and other institutions in Garland County and the Hot Springs area, so that we are well aware as a church family of the needs of our community and the opportunities to serve it and bless it and love it. So the function of the Bridge Ministry is not particularly to organize events or projects for you to take part in. Primarily, the Bridge Ministry itself is a communication piece. It's to make sure that we as a church are up to speed and well apprised of the opportunities and the needs in our community. And then it's up to us as followers of Jesus, as responsible followers of His, to think about what I want to tackle, what we want to tackle, what my small group wants to tackle, what these 8 people from the whole congregation want to get involved in. So the Bridge Ministry is given some time there on 27. We also highlight that we do regularly participate in relief projects, both here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and around the world. I've traveled some for that. Some of you have as well. We've also done work just right here in Arkansas. We will continue to be doing that as a way to express the love of Christ. Third, we highlight the fact that we take what might traditionally be called the missions budget from our budget, about 10% of our total giving, and we particularly orient that money, not exclusively, but real heavily, towards any ministry that establishes or strengthens churches, that any ministry or leader that is planting churches or is strengthening existing churches. That also would include anyone who is developing church planters or who is training pastors that can then strengthen their churches. Any of that work that results in new churches or newly strengthened churches is what's in view under number 3, funding and participating in missions whose goal is to establish or strengthen churches. And then last, we highlight number 4, partnering with and equipping future church leaders. And a lot of this is really geared towards the U.S. of A. This is what for years at Lake Valley we have mentioned as a juniper tree ministry to burn out pastors, but this is not exclusively that. It is something that is starting to gain some organization and some focus. You'll be hearing more about it in the future, of how Lake Valley, how we can do even more to encourage, strengthen, refresh, retrain, train for the first time leaders for the American church. And that's number 4. There's a little blurb about money, which is, I think, very encouraging. And then the last thing I want to do is that the last page of this particular lesson basically asks, well, so what's next? Now, no surprise here, we're going to ask new members, and you may have some in your home group who still haven't done this yet or haven't yet turned in this paperwork. We're still going to ask basically for 2 things. A personal faith journey, which includes information about their baptism. I think it's straightforward instructions on that. Second, carefully read and sign a membership covenant. Now, that's not new. What you do need to know is new is there's really 2 new items or newly worded items on the membership covenant. And let me flip over that so that you don't get taken by surprise. You need to look at these yourself. The very first 2 items on the new, revised, refreshed membership covenant doesn't really undo or change the old covenant, but it does clarify, and there is one really new thing. The very first thing we say on the membership covenant is we ask a new member to prioritize and complete discovering life within the next 24 months, understanding that the next offered experience is preferred. Now, I mentioned this to you in session 2. Discovering Life is this new piece that we're currently writing. It will be launched in the mid-year of 2010. And we'll use it, we hope, for years to come with improvements, but this is a piece that we feel like is important. We have discovered, particularly as Lake Valley got established and became a respectable church, we have had quite an influx of people who, while they may love Lake Valley, for whatever reason they chose it as their church, they really are not established well in the foundations of their faith. The basic theology, the basic sound teaching on how to live, marriage, family, money, life in a church, just what the apostles of Jesus called sound doctrine. Not just the head beliefs, those are crucial, but then also the strong convictions about how you conduct yourself in a family and in a family of families. That will be about a 6-month learning experience, meeting weekly. Right now we're planning to do that at the church building to make it very convenient for people on a Sunday. New members will commit to go through that 6-month training experience within the first 2 years of their membership of Lake Valley. That's new. Second, pardon me, is not so much a brand new commitment, but it's new wording. Using the LIFE, LIFE acronym, number 2 now reads that as a new member, I commit to an ever-growing dynamic relationship of losing my life, L, to Jesus Christ, which will lead to me imitating, I, his ways, living in his family, F, of families, and engaging, E, the community in his name. So it brings some clarity, we hope, to our mission and what we're involved in, and it's some new wording about the overall commitment to the church and its mission. So those first 2 items, now the other 1, 2, 3, the other 5 items, there's still 7, are basically what you've always heard. Instead of calling everything home groups, it now says small groups to allow for other kinds of small groups other than home groups. Other than that, it's very much what you have seen before. I believe that's it. I do apologize for the coughing. I would not miss the fact that there are several appendices. There's all the scriptures are in here that have been referenced throughout the book. There's stuff on baptism in here that's very important. Some people will have questions about that. There's an appendices on that. There is that on deacons and our understanding of women and women's roles in leadership. There's listing of elders and staff. On the issue of money, which is a crucial spiritual issue, there is an old home group study that we did years ago that's very good, and that's included in the appendix as well. It'll be a great personal study. At the right time, it might be a great home group study for your home group to go through this study on financial freedom. It's excellent work, excellent study. So that's it. Again, anyone who has not yet done this in your home group, and then of course in the future, just as we always have, we're going to ask for a personal faith journey, including their baptism, and a commitment to the membership covenant. You have any questions, give us a call. We'll do our best to get you squared away. Thanks.